Chances are, if you clicked on this video, then you're tired of being in failed relationships. You're tired of forcing things with your partner. You're tired of being in that situation whereby you feel worthless in your own relationship. Well, worry not, because in this video, I'm going to be giving you solutions on how you can actually solve that problem of yours. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the behaviors that can actually destroy a relationship. And also, I'm going to touch on things that you can do to basically improve your relationship. All right, so without wasting time, let's get to it. So the first one that I want to highlight is neglecting to take care of your appearance. I don't know, I don't care what anyone is going to say out there, but you need to understand that appearance matters. How you look matters. You have to look good for yourself. And by looking good for yourself, it's going to reflect as a positive thing when it comes to your partner. You can't be this one person when your partner met you, and as a relationship goes, or after 2 years or after 1 year, all of a sudden you're a completely different person. And you find out that someone will be like, you're not the same person as a person that I met like 2 years ago. And you're like, oh, okay, fine. So you don't love me anymore. No, it's not that. It's just that from what you portrayed from the beginning, it's now a completely different story. So as far as appearance is concerned, some people are going to say that appearance it does not matter. It's what is in the heart that matters. But you need to understand that those two factors do accompany each other. You as a person, you are a combination of your personality and your appearance. So there's no need for you to neglect one and keep another one in check. So as far as you have a good heart, as far as your personality is on point, you need to make sure that your appearance as well is on point. So what can you do? What can you do to basically make sure that your appearance is on point? The first thing that you can do is make sure that you take regular showers. You know, no one wants to be with a person who doesn't shower. Like you yourself who's watching this video, you wouldn't want to be with a person who doesn't shower. So okay, so the second factor that I want to touch on is accountability. So as a person, you need to be accountable for your actions. So what I mean is, and this is something that often happens in a relationship, and now it has been so normalized that a person does not apologize when they do something wrong. And I'm speaking about this in a sense of Uti. You will be in a relationship with somebody, and that person does something wrong. And then what they're going to do is they're going to shift the blame, and they're going to try to make you feel like you're overreacting, or it doesn't matter, or anything of that sort. So in a relationship, you need to make sure that you are willing to be accountable for your actions. So if you do something wrong, be ready to apologize. Be ready to suffer the consequences of your actions. Like, we all make mistakes, but what really matters is how accountable are you when you make mistakes. Another thing is, when it comes to accountability, and I'm speaking about this in a sense of Uti, some people have normalized actually shifting the blame on another person to a point whereby they don't even know how to say sorry. They don't even know how to respectfully show that their actions have an impact on the relationship. Because if you continuously do something wrong, or if you continuously do wrong things, and in your head you're just like, you know what, my partner is gonna forgive me, my partner is gonna understand, and you don't even apologize, eventually what is gonna happen is at some point your partner is gonna give up on you, and then they're just gonna walk away, and then you're gonna be left thinking, okay, fine, everything was fine, what really happened here? But what really happened is that you're not accountable for your actions. Every person in a relationship appreciates a person who knows how to lay their head low and apologize, put their ego aside and know how to apologize. Because the reality is, a lot of people out there nowadays, they're like, you know what, I'm not going to be this person for my partner because I got a heartbreak in the past, or I did this. Look, this is a new relationship, new things and stuff like that. I'm not saying that it's going to work out, but trust me, it's worth a shot. So you need to make sure that when you do something wrong, you apologize. You need to make sure that when you do something wrong, you take accountability for your actions. It's going to pay out in the long run. Okay, so the next 2 points that I'm going to be giving, which is point number, if I'm not mistaken, it's like point number 4 and point number 5. These points are very much interlinked because one cannot exist without the other. So the first one is, do not be too reliant on your partner. And what I mean by that is, do not be a person who cannot do anything outside of having their partner's approval. You know, do not always seek validation from your partner. Be a person of your own. Make decisions. Of course, there are those times where you're like, you know what, I need to ask my partner for a second thought on this matter. Like, for instance, if you want to do something, you're like, you know what, I'm going to ask my partner if this is a good idea. We get that. You have made a decision and you want some confirmation. You want some additional thoughts on what you're about to do. Maybe because you're not 100% sure of what you're about to do or anything of that sort. So you need another person to add their input. And your partner is going to be that person who's adding input. So you need to make sure that you are not a person who's like, I can't make a decision if my partner doesn't say this. If your partner is not there, like nothing is happening in your life, nothing is going on in your life, even from studying to work and every other factor in your life is on hold because your partner is not there to actually make the decisions for you. The fifth point that I want to make is don't act like you don't have a partner. And what I mean by that is, as far as a relationship is concerned, you need to make sure that you keep a balance. So you need to make sure that as a person, you do not act like you do not have a partner, because you do have a partner. If you act like you do not have a partner, like for instance, your friends ask you, who's this person? You're like, oh, this is my friend. Or for example, you meet other people whilst you're with your partner, and then they're like, oh, you know what? They're talking and all that, and you don't even introduce your partner as your partner. You're just like, oh, this is this person, and then you move on. We understand that your relationship is none of other people out there's business. We understand that your relationship is it's on you, it's yours. We get that, but it's just nice. Your partner would really appreciate you actually being proud of mentioning them in a big crowd. You know, like, this is my partner. It shows that you're proud of your partner. But if you're gonna be in a relationship indoors, and then the moment you go outside, you're single or you act single, you know, what is gonna happen eventually is that your partner is gonna catch on to that, and what is gonna happen is they are gonna start like acting like you don't matter. They're gonna start acting like you are worthless in the relationship. They're gonna start denying you in the face of people, and what is gonna happen is that eventually the relationship is gonna crumble to dust. And then you say, okay, fine, my relationship didn't work because of the other person. No, you inflicted that behavior into your own partner. You started off the whole thing of denying your own partner. You started off this whole thing of not being comfortable with mentioning your partner. So do not act single. Do not behave like you're single, because trust me, people are smart. And if you're in a relationship with someone who is okay up here, they're going to catch up to that. And they're going to know that, you know what, this person is not worth my time. This person is just here for the moment. And then it's the end of your relationship, of which if you had fixed that one thing, then trust me, your relationship was going to be in order. So point number 6, we need to address the point of affection. You know, if you have a partner, you need to make sure that you have some sort of affection towards your partner, because you don't want to be in a friendship where you're just calling each other boyfriend and girlfriend. You don't want to be in that situation. I'm not saying go ahead and do things that are outside of your comfort zone. Like for instance, things that affect you as a person. Like all of a sudden you do something and now you feel guilt and all. I'm not saying do that, but you need to understand that showing affection doesn't always have to go to a point whereby you feel uncomfortable. For example, the first one is you can show affection by just hugging your partner when you greet them, when you say bye, when they're not feeling well, or when you're happy. You can just hug them, you know, proper hug, showing that you love your partner. And that is a form of affection, and it has no harm, nothing whatsoever. Because if you are going to be this person who's saying, okay, I'm in a relationship with you, but I'm getting the same treatment from you as my friends out there, then obviously I'm not going to see you as any special person. I'm not going to see you as any person in that specific special place in my life. I'm just going to see you as anyone else, and then I'm going to treat you as anyone else. And then eventually what you're going to say is, oh, you don't care, oh, this and that. But the reality is you are really being a cold person to your own partner, you know? So you need to make sure that you show some sort of affection, because the reality is you are with that partner, and that partner is probably attracted to you in every form, physical and mental and emotional. So you need to make sure that every aspect of your being is also being met as much as their side is also being met, right? That brings me to the next one, which is lack of communication, you know, broken communication. You know, you don't talk when you're feeling uncomfortable about something, about a certain behavior and stuff like that. You need to be ready to open up to your partner. You need to be ready to talk. You need to be ready to say what you're not happy with. Otherwise, what is going to happen is unspoken words are going to destroy your relationship. So be ready to open up. Be ready to express yourself, because if you don't express yourself, your partner is never going to know that you're actually feeling a certain way. You need to make sure that you express yourself so that your partner knows. Because the reality is, what usually happens in relationships is we teach our partners how to treat us. You met this person. Let's say, for instance, the person has not experienced a heartbreak. This person is very nice. This person is very good, right? And then when you get there with your nonchalant brains and you're just like, you know what, I'm just going to be acting like I don't care. I'm going to act like I'm single. I'm going to act like the partner doesn't matter and stuff like that. What is eventually going to happen is that your partner is going to catch on to that and they're going to start reflecting that on you, right? And usually what happens is when your partner reflects certain behaviors on you, what you don't really like that, you are eventually going to pick it up and you're going to raise it to your partner and say, you know what, I don't like it when you do 1, 2, 3. But then when you look back, you're the one who actually started with the whole chain reaction of bad behavior and your partner had to learn that. Like for instance, if your partner was a person who was always on, I'm not going to go to sleep without calling my boyfriend or my girlfriend, right? Then here you are. Every day, you're just going to sleep. Every day, you're going to sleep. Eventually, your partner is going to catch on the fact that, you know what, my partner never says goodnight when they go to sleep. And they're just going to go to sleep, And then when are you going to come back a week later and you're like, oh, you never tell me good night anymore, you just go to sleep, which means you don't care. No, they just figured out that, you know what, they're the only ones who are pulling the weight and the other person is just on the receiving end. So you need to make sure that there's a balance between the two of you. Make sure that you communicate, make sure that you reciprocate, make sure that you love your partner the right way, make sure that you are that partner that you basically were when you met your partner. After you've communicated, the next point is ignoring your partner's emotions. So the thing is, what usually happens is that some people out there are good with communicating. When they don't feel okay about something, they're gonna raise it, they're gonna say it to their partner. And also the opposite is so true. Some people are so good out there with ignoring other people's feelings. There's situations that requires a partner to say, okay, fine, you know what, I get it, I was being unfair on this. Obviously taking accountability, which I already covered, but listening to your partner's emotions is very important, because when your partner talks, often it's because they have thought about this a long time. They sat down, they thought about it, they come to a conclusion that, you know what, it's about time I bring it up. It's about time I speak about it. You as a partner should listen and you should be willing to make the necessary changes, because the reality is, you know what, you're not going to change overnight, but you can work on it. That effort that shows, you know what, you're willing to work on it is a win. So you need to make sure that listen to the emotions, be ready to change, be ready to voice out your opinion, be ready to have a constructive conversation, healthy communication. And trust me, your relationship is really going to appreciate that. Your relationship is going to thrive. Because you don't want to find yourself in a position whereby you're making the same mistake in every relationship. You become the common problem and now you're like, oh, the world hates me, no one wants to be with me. No, you are the problem. And it's not that you don't look attractive to people. It's not that you are not an appealing person. It's just that you are not an ideal person to be with in the long run. So you need to fix that. Okay, so the next point that I want to talk about is dishonesty. So with dishonesty, it's all about, it can be telling false information. It can be telling false information by omission. It can be being dishonest in your behavior, like cheating, for example, which is one of the main reasons why relationships end. It can be anything for that matter, anything that is not right. Okay, so we need to understand that there are those little white lies. So little white lies are just lies that don't really have much effect on the relationship. Where we get that those are things that they don't really have much harm to your relationship. But now when you tell lies, right? Respect, trust, gone. And trust is a very important aspect of a relationship, by the way, because it's very hard to build, but it's very easy to destroy, right? So you need to make sure that you're honest at all times, because the reality is you don't know what your partner knows. Like your partner could be asking you a question whilst already knowing the answer. So you need to make sure that you do not lie to your partner under any circumstances. You need to tell the truth as is, and you need to make sure that you're honest. Another thing, do not cheat. Cheating will just bring your relationship to the end, because some people like myself, we do not tolerate cheating. The moment you cheat, it's the end. The moment you cheat, we move. Like it's shy. We don't care the level of cheating. Like once you cheat, it's shy. So you need to make sure that you are honest to your partner at all times. That way your partner will know that your word, you mean it, you keep it, and you will never break it. Another thing that I need to bring to your attention is following certain impulses. People react differently. If you're not going to talk to your partner for weeks, months, and you expect things to be okay, you need to understand some people react by cheating. Like they will have multiple partners. That mean nothing. You are the main objective, but they will have those partners. The reason for that is they will have those partners because those partners actually help them get away from thinking about you, and once that happens, it's not a good thing. So you need to make sure that you prevent that from happening. Some people, instead of cheating, they become obsessed with certain things. Like for instance, they become obsessed with meeting up with their friends and playing soccer, and you'll be thinking, you know what, my partner is just going to deal with it, we're going to trust me. The moment they distract themselves with other things and it continuously happens, eventually they're going to be on some, they don't feel anything for you anymore, and it's not going to be nice. You need to prevent those things from happening, because trust me, once it starts happening, there's a high probability that you not manage to stop it. Everyone has that specific habit that if they start doing, it will be hard for them to do. For some people, once you do something like that, they'll become academic weapons. They focus like nothing else matters. They'll start focusing on course, they'll start focusing on work, they'll start focusing on other things. So every person has their own thing that they do. I have my own thing, you also have your own thing, but just make sure that you prevent your partner from reaching that point. If you are doing that, make sure that your partner does not reach that point. If you're a person who's receiving that, and make sure that try so hard to communicate it through, because once you take that road, you're not coming back. This is the bonus point that everyone needs to listen to. Do not compare your partner to anybody. Be it an ex, be it another friend of yours, be it another person. Do not compare your partner to anybody else. Like, you know what? There is not, be it positive or negative, stay away from that, because you don't know how your partner is going to take it. Let's say, for instance, you decide to tell your partner, you know what? My friend treats me better than you. Trust me. Like, do not. Be it the same gender or not the same, like, just do not compare your partner to another person, because that is going to work on their self-esteem, that is going to work on their being as a whole. So you need to make sure that you protect that. You should not compare your partner, because the reason why you're with your partner is not because you are lacking something. It's not because you have some void in your life. It's not because you're missing something. You're with your partner because you love your partner, you appreciate your partner, you love them in every form. So whatever mistakes they make, do not compare your partner to another person. Whatever good things they do not compare your person to another person. Do not compare your partner to another person, because what is going to happen is they're going to try to change to fit that specific description. And no one out there can change who they are to be another person and perfect that other person. Which means you are eventually going to look at them and say, you know what, you're not the same person that I fell in love with. And what is going to happen is relationship comes to an end. But anyway, I hope that your relationship doesn't come to an end. Unfortunately, the video does have to come to an end, and I hope that your relationship reaches its best. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.